A brutal hello from Old Man Winter today, including a harsh wind that's making even the simple task of getting groceries a little unbearable today. Not a lot of protection in the Costco parking lot or rural areas for that matter, really anywhere in town. When can we expect the wind to die down?
Well, overnight we're expecting it to subside just a little bit, but take a look at these peak gusts we had across the region today. Carrington, you were the big winners with a 44-mile-per-hour gust recorded, and it was in excess of 40 miles per hour in Grand Forks as well, and a lot of 30-mile-per-hour plus gusts across western Minnesota. Temperatures have warmed, but as we mentioned yesterday in the forecast, it won't feel so warm. It does look like we'll have a chance at seeing some wind chills that'll be below zero, particularly in the far north. A few flakes across portions of Minnesota, as mentioned. Some spots along the border could see upwards of an inch as we go towards morning. Look at this. Temperatures will slowly rise and then remain steady as we get into the overnight hours. And the wind, 15 to 25 miles per hour all the way through the late evening and early overnight hours before it finally starts winding down just a bit.
Okay, and maybe a little bit of a warm-up.
I'll have more details on the possibility of a warm-up coming up here in just a minute.
Okay, just had to confirm that, you know. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Exploding electronics and lead-contaminated fidget spinners. Parents and kids are starting to veer away from these toys. And traditional items, such as Gumby and Slinkies, are making a comeback. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has our story tonight about what's hot this holiday season.
It's out with the new and in with the old. Retro toys and games are flying off the shelves early this holiday season.
Stretch Armstrong, your Sorry, Monopoly, Boggle, Yahtzee, those kind of things kind of coming back out of the woodworks a little bit. So we're really excited to see kind of a good throwback to the kids coming into the stores now.
Amber Zalondek works at Target.
Basically what it is it's like this egg that...
And she's seeing what she calls more artisan-styled games. These are classic board games made out of wood. And Target isn't the only store offering more simple toys. Herberger's has also jumped on the bandwagon. New this year is a line of traditional FAO Schwartz toys, train sets, classic RC racers, and tea party sets. So why this sudden shift?
Something that they can just hold in their hands and play.
Electronics are still popular, but the hottest ones are toys combining some of the old with some of the new.
Kind of a handback to last year was the Hatchimal. So we definitely had a lot of people coming in for asking for that. We've had, like I said, our Beat Bugs. It's kind of an ode to the Beatles, so it's kind of a throwback, you know, back to the Beatles and that classic music, classic rock.
But for one young girl, she doesn't care about toys at all.
No, I don't care about the presents. I really care about seeing my family.
The spirit of the holidays alive and well in this young girl. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Last holiday season, toy sales increased by almost 7%. This far exceeded expectations from the NPD group that analyzes toy sales. And toys inspired by movies outperformed others on the market. A former North Dakota woman accused of being an accomplice to murder is pleading not guilty. 38-year-old Crystal Herman lived in Warwick, North Dakota before moving to the Twin Cities. She's charged with helping her husband Billy kidnap and kill 36-year-old Amanda Angst from the Warwick area in October 2015. The criminal complaint accuses Crystal of opening a car door, allowing her husband to strangle Angst, making room in the trunk so they could transport Angst, and holding a flashlight while Billy beat Angst with a shovel. A body found in the Cheyenne River near Warwick in February was identified as Angst. Crystal Herman is being held at the Stutzman County Correctional Center on a $1 million bond. Crystal and Billy Herman were charged with various armed robberies in North Dakota and Minnesota in 2015. When they were arrested, they were in possession of a car owned by Angst, who was listed as a missing person at that time. It's Friday and time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Fargo police say Keon Owens Christopher is wanted for a probation violation and interference with telephone during emergency call. We have his picture right there on your screen. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. To date, the Valley's Most Wanted program has helped police make nearly 600 arrests. Actor and comedian Louis C.K. has broken his silence after allegations of sexual misconduct surfaced. In a lengthy statement released by a representative, the 6-time Emmy winner acknowledged that these stories are true. Louis C.K. said in part, "I have been remorseful of my actions, and I have tried to learn from them and run from them. Now I'm aware of the extent of the impact of my actions." Louis C.K.'s statement follows the accusations of multiple women who detailed his behavior in a New York Times report, and just hours after the release of his latest film, I Love You, Daddy, was canceled. The 50-year-old comedian concluded that he will now step back and take a long time to listen. He's being dropped by his management and publicist, and FX has ended involvement on 4 TV shows. Alabama Senate candidate and judge Roy Moore is fighting back today, saying accusations of sexual misconduct with teenagers are not true. He says the allegations are meant to derail his campaign to win Alabama's vacant Senate seat. 4 women reported to the Washington Post that Moore made inappropriate advances toward them when they were teenagers, and he was in his 30s. Republicans on Capitol Hill have mostly distanced themselves from Judge Moore, including Senator John McCain, who urged Moore to immediately drop out of the race. The White House issued a statement that says, in part, President Trump believes Judge Moore will do the right thing and step aside if the allegations are true. From allowing people to figure out your password to being a victim of scam, there are a lot of things to be aware of when you're online. Cybersecurity experts say you should know all of your accounts and check them often. A scammer will try to get you out of an account so they can control it. So if you cannot log in, notify someone immediately. Also, be aware of who you're giving information to. Cybersecurity experts say you should be skeptical when someone asks for it. And finally, protect your passwords.
If they, in fact, are able to get that information, our passwords and PIN numbers, they can access our bank accounts, our investment accounts, and it can potentially create all kinds of financial havoc for us as consumers.
For more ways to stay safe, go to valleynewslive.com and look for this story. And remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. A couple of Vietnam War veterans got the surprise of a lifetime this Veterans Day from the Minnesota Vikings. Reporter Mary McGuire has our story.
Go ahead and open it.
When Vietnam veteran Rick Greer sat down for breakfast at the new Hy-Vee in Eagan, he knew he was being honored for his service.
This is crazy. This is nothing like this is. Tears.
He had no idea, however, that he would be getting the surprise of a lifetime from Vikes Hall of Famer Paul Krause.
I just thought we were going to have breakfast and visit with some Vikings, and I didn't know what else to expect. I really didn't, and this is this is great.
Alongside 4 other veterans, Greer will be traveling to Washington, D.C. to watch the team take on the Redskins, as well as taking in a tour of the Arlington National Cemetery, a moonlight tour of D.C.'s National Mall monuments, memorials, and the Capitol.
Have always wanted to go, and I've had, friends of mine that were in Vietnam. They said, "You got to go, Rick, you got to go," and it's a opportunity of a lifetime.
A weekend like this is, I don't even know what to say right now.
These 5 veterans and their spouses all wore purple to the breakfast this morning, but they are leaving for the airport under the red, white, and blue.
It's just, we're all in it together. We've been there and done that, and everybody's free and life is good.
Once the vets return to Minnesota, the team will bring them to their next home game against the Rams. They'll be recognized on the field as part of their salute to service.